Hello guys, welcome back to another guide and gameplay video. Today, as you see, we have branded White Woods or White Forest. I won't go over this list too much because the most things are standard. I will just say that uh, the White Forest, as stellar, is very important because it makes Aluber almost one card combo. In many hands where you don't have access to Cartesia Summon, Aluber can be one card combo if you have spells in your hand that you don't use to make a stellar, which can summon either Quem or Cartesia, depending on your hand, to do the puppet line. So 3 Albion, 3 Aluber, 1 Asteria, 2 Cartesia, and 1 Quem. 4 Bestials, I think it's important in this format to play more Bestials. 1 Tragedy, 3 Albaz, very standard, Puppet. Kit, I played 2 Lubellion because if I go for the Asteria line, I want to have lost access, so I want to hard draw the Lubellion. Of course, on Mercurier, 3 Fusions, 3 High Spirits because it's very good with 3 Albion and 3 Saronir. 1 brand in red, 1 brand in white. I was playing in this list originally. I was playing 2 droplets, and I didn't play the brand in white and the third High Spirits, which I regret. And in some replays, you will see the droplet, but in my opinion, it's not as good as these cards. These cards gives you a lot of consistency and are good going second as well. So I decided to play these instead. 1 lost, 3 opening, 1 call by 1 foolish, 3 fusion deployment. Played standard, 3 talent, 1 talent with 3 thrust, 1 retribution, 1 fusion duplication, and very important, board breakers are 2 evenly and 2 dark ruler, which are searchable with thrust. So you have more copies of this basically, and they win a lot of games. In the side deck, we play 2 more Bestials, Poldrake and Druishom. They're very important, both of them. 3 Molds Army because you don't want hand traps other than Bestials. You want to draw into board breakers, and Molds Army is very good for that reason. 3 Cosmic to deal with back row like skill drain and stuff. The third Dark Ruler and the third Evenly, as you see. 1 Duster because it's chargeable. 1 DDG, chargeable, of Thrust. 1 Debearer, same reason. The second duplication is for going first. When you go first, you want to see this card, even if you don't have Thrust. You want to find a way to access this card because it's very important, even if you don't get asked, even if you do. And lastly, I needed 1 more card, so I put Tikaboo because it's very good in branded. Now on to the extra deck, we play of course 2 Albion, the Brand Dragon, and we play 1 Sanctifier for the Puppet, 1 Furious, very good card, 1 Queritis, very good also, 2 Grand Guignol. You need to play 2 if you play 3 High Spirits, it's very standard, 1 Chimera, board breaking, 1 Lubellion, 1 Masquerade. You could change Masquerade for Albalenatus. I will test it. I think Albalenatus could be better now that Tenpai is meta deck. 2 Mirror Jade, standard, 1 Dragastapelia, 1 Rindrum, and 1 Titanic Lad. Now I will show you the combo. For the combo, you just need Aluber plus 2 spell or traps. Keep in mind, guys, that this combo you only go for when you have Aluber, only Aluber, and you don't have Cartesia access, and when you don't think that you can play around stuff. Because this combo is not the best combo, it's not optimal, but when you don't have another way, the thing that changes between this list and the previous list is that with the White Forest monster, you have access to Puppet Lock. Here you see the combo. Some sequences can change and the material you use can change. I have said that on the chat. But this is the basic combo. And as you can see, the difference between the previous list is that now Aluber can go for the full Puppet STK. So that's very good. And it gives the deck a lot of access to cards that it didn't have before. So now let's go see a replay against Tenpai. As you see, he opens 3 hand traps and field spell plus crossout. Here with Lubellion, I think it was a mistake to discard Mercurier, but I wanted to have access to the Mercurier plus Bestial interaction to add more cards, but he uses Droll and Lockbird, so I'm a bit of shut off from my engine. He adds the Genroku, which is very good for him because he can do full combo basically. But I have a couple of interactions. He attacks with Genroku straight into the battle phase, he uses Genroku and summons the Padra, which adds Kaimen. And when he uses Kaimen, it means that he cannot summon any other monsters by the effect. So that's when I use the Fusion Duplication. Summoning a Mirror Jade to banish the Chandra because he cannot summon any other monsters from the deck or from the hand. He still has a normal summon and he still has the field spell, but he doesn't OTK me this turn, and tenpai basically cannot play if they don't OTK you, especially against a deck like Branded. Here he's doing a mistake. He went for Moonlight, so I can just summon another Albaz, going for the second Mirror Jade, and he uses nothing. He just sent an Imperm and passes, basically GG. Game 2, now you will see the Whitewood combo, because as you see, I don't have Aluber, but I have Lost. So I have an access to a good banish, a good dark monster to banish with Albion. And now I can do full Puppet Lock combo. It's important for Lubellion to discard the spell so you can bring back the White Forest. And Albion dumps the Retribution in case I need to add another spell from the graveyard to send off Asteria. But thankfully I draw High Spirits. Asteria here summons the Cartesia, which goes for the Grinding, which dumps Titanic Lad, which gives me access to Quem. Quem is a very important piece to play around some Beastels. Here I add back the Branding High Spirits, which is very, very important to discard Cartesia, which gives me access to another Fallen of Albaz in case he has a Beastel because he's playing Tenpai. So I have to play around that. And Quem brings back Cartesia in order to fuse with the Albaz I added in case he banishes my Albaz. And I have Puppet in hand, so I'm safe. Here, as you see, I use Albion, so it's basically GG. He has a lot of monsters in the hand, a lot of normal summons, very unlike for him. Basically, turn 3 is just a cleanup, draw cards, banish stuff, and attack for game. So we go to game 2. He was kinda slow playing there, but okay. Now another replay I want to show you. I think it's against Snake Eye. And I have a couple of Snake Eye duels here because the previous videos I did not have Snake Eye's games because I did not find any. So thankfully now that changes. You will see what the deck can do under Ash Blossom because many people think that this deck just loses to Ash Blossom if you don't have Thrust or Talents, which is very wrong in my opinion. Just observe the combo. High Spirits is a very good setup, especially under Ash. It can add you Cartesia and dump a lot of fusions in the graveyard. So Titanic Lad brings me Quem. Quem dumps the second Albaz to play around the Bestial. And Albion sets Branded in red and Cartesia at back for the material. Now I have to let him go to main 1 to play around some stuff. And I use Quem and Grinding and Lost under the Brand Lost, so he cannot chain anything. And when I summon Albaz, and a new chain a fusion summon with his monster, and he cannot activate anything in response to the resolution of summon of Albion, so it's a free puppet even if he has something. Now game 2, it's very interesting. He has full Snake Eye combo. I speed this up because you know the combo, everyone knows the combo, it's like the most basic stuff. Although I think he might misplayed in a few ways, which doesn't really matter because it's Snake Eye. I don't really like to mention the mistakes. He just could set Wanted there, but he could be playing around Nibiru or something, I don't know. Which I don't have, unfortunately. I have Thrust and Evenly, which are very good board breakers, and I have Call by the Grave, which saves me from Ash Blossom, which he doesn't have, so Callback can be used for another kind of interruption. He summons the Desiree, which is an issue, because it's an Omni-Negate that can negate evenly matched. And I need to bait him into using something that will negate both Thrust and activate the monster effect before I use my Evenly. So as you see, he has full combo, he has Scissor, he negates the Promethean Princess, and he plays Birch, which actually saves him right now because he can summon an Appaloosa for 2 material. If he didn't play, he couldn't do anything. I draw another Thrust, which is useless. He sets an Imperm. He allows me to resolve Aluber, even if he has Imperm, and just to activate the field spell. I don't know. I bet with Battle Phase. And he is thinking for a long time, but he eventually uses Masquerena, which I wanted him to do, to bait with Thrust. And he summons SP that banishes my Aluber, so now Evenly is live. And I bait the Desiree with a callback because I cut all of his follow-up if I banish the Flambirds. So now it's free game. I could activate Thrust to search Dark Ruler to negate the whole field so SP doesn't banish anything, it doesn't save anything, but that would leave him with a set that I don't know, and I didn't want to play with unknown cards, so now I know everything, and I can use Thrust to take with talents the Caesar, and I can open it into Quem, into Cartesia, and now I have full puppet line, and I can banish his Caesar with Albion to make Mirror Jade, and then I puppet on his next turn, even under SP, because I didn't side it out. Now another Snake replay, I go first, he has 3 hand-drops. Now you will see how good this deck is. Okay, now I opened both High Spirits and Thrust, which is very good to play around hand-drops. I get Ast, I get Veilered, I will get Nibiru'd eventually. High Spirits with Spellcaster, that's why you should play the second Great Guignol, as you see. Very important. Luckily, I draw Lubellion, which is very good draw. Magnamut into Veiler, and now I summon Lubellion and I bait the last hand drop, which is Nibiru. It doesn't do anything. Actually, it gives him more plus than him because it triggers my Great Guignol, as you will see in a minute. Now I have played through 3 hand drops. He still has full combo, but it will not be enough. Spoiler alert. Quem dumps the Retribution, which is very important because it will give me back the High Spirits. And now with High Spirits, I will send a dragon on his turn because I add with Magnamut a Saronir, and I add back the Cartesia. And now, thanks to Fusion Duplication, I can do the puppet line. So that's very, very good. Best deck, yeah. Here, as you see the droplet, I mentioned that I don't play it anymore because I don't like it. In this replay, it's good. It's up to you guys. This deck is up to you. I don't feel like playing droplet anymore. I don't really like it. But you can play it, it's still a good card. I hold roll, as you say, because I want to play around talents, because my hand loses to talents. And if he can make a good enough board that beats my hand if he has talents. And as you see, he has Skull by, so if he drew with wanted talent or something, it would be very, very dangerous. So that's why I hold roll, because worst case scenario, it's a scent of droplet or albaz. And droplet plus evenly reassures that evenly will resolve. You see, I have fast forwarded the combo because it's just basic Snake Eye Fiendsmith. It's so boring. I don't even want to commentate on that. But whatever, he makes a IP, he summons back to Snake Eyes, he summons back the Fiendsmith, he doesn't respect Nibiru at all. If I had Nibiru here, I would win. But nevertheless, he makes Desiree, which is the Omnigate, but I don't really care about that. He Princess into Flambirds into the IP, he negates Princess, he sets 2. He tries to negate a chain droplet to negate Appaloosa, he chains Wanted, which is very good. Now, it's weird that he decided to hold the set. I thought it could be Skildrin. It wasn't. Last card, of course, he has Ash Blossom, he top decks the Skildrin, a very lucky player. But whatever, he held Callby, which is very weird because he bans his only Flambirds. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes bad plays don't get punished. Which is actually fine, because if we go to game 3, I would like to show you more about this deck, which is good for you. Here, he attacks, just attacks. And the next play he makes is a very weird line, because he summons SP, just banish, and then he summons Lin, which doesn't do anything. And if he didn't have the Skildrin, I would win, because Albaz would resolve, and he could just summon SP with the 2 monsters left. Here, not the best hand, he has a Bestial. I have Kolbe though, so I'm sure that Brand Fusion will resolve, which is the important thing. I draw Droplet once again. Droplet here would actually be good. Be careful of the combo I make because I don't have an Aluber access or anything. I sent Mercurial with Blind Fusion, and because I have Beastal, I can do full combo. Keep in mind that you need to check out this line. It's very important, and you basically do full combo and puppet line. If you don't have Aluber or Quem or anything, it's the way to add Cartesia. So here he summons Magnamut, which is dangerous because he adds another Bestial, plus he has an extra level 6 body on the field. So now I need to play around one Bestial, which is guaranteed. And you will see how I will puppet under the Bestial threat. I chain Droplet, not just to negate, but I wanted to send the Rainbroom to the graveyard just to do this line. If he doesn't Bestial here, I will puppet lock. If he does chain Bestial, I will chain Brandon in red and I will puppet lock. So it's lose-lose situation for him. I just would summon the Alban and win. In this replay, Droplet was very good, as you saw, but I played a lot of games, and in most of them, Droplet was not. I prefer drawing Thrust, Branding White, Branding High Spirits, Dark Ruler evenly. I prefer all of these cards than Droplet. But it's up to you. Okay. Here I face Spright. He goes for the Link 2, which is very interesting because he sets up a negate. Unfortunately for him, I have Dark Ruler evenly. Fortunately for him, he has started to summon a card, so he can negate the evenly, but now I have breaked his whole field. It's interesting that he didn't use Toad just to add back a thing from the graveyard and then use the trap to summon back Toad to have a negate. I think that's a huge misplay of him, but he's not a really good player as far as I saw. He uses Droll. That's okay. I read the trap, he tried to use it, but the trap summons level 4 monster and he's locked because of starter. So now I can do stuff on my end phase, main phase 3 for Branded. I use Mirror Jet, he still doesn't chain totally awesome. I will break his whole field. Here Albion sets the High Spirits to my hand, which is illegal because I got Droll. I didn't remember it, sorry, but it wouldn't change anything because once he went for the Gigantic, I would just activate Brand High Spirits on his turn and the result would be exactly the same. So that illegal play did not change much. I'm sorry from my side because I didn't remember it. There were a lot of plays happening. But thankfully, it changes nothing because it would be the exact same play on the next turn. Game 3, he bricks. I also brick, but my hand is a little bit better because I have talent. I wanted to play around us as much as possible in this game, and I wanted to have the information. So talent, I did not choose to draw because if he had us, I would lose either way. So I decided to see his hand to play around the threats. And I see he has Beastals and red, so I put out the red because that cuts him off a sprint line. And in case he top decks something like a Spright monster, I cut his access. He's so good that he top decks Sprite's starter. Here I let the attack go through. I don't activate duplication because he has Beastals, so I don't care. I don't want to give him access. Once he activates starter, I can chain duplication because he's locked under level 2s, so he will not summon the Beastals. As you see, he summons blue, and I add a bunch of things. I forgot to discard the evenly, but it doesn't change anything. I remembered it, but it's okay. I banish the blue, so now he has to normal summon the jet because I know all his hand. And I added the Mercurial to negate the sprint, so his last interaction is gone, and I have Aluber normal summon next turn, I win. Now, a fun duel against the mimighoul, very cool deck, I must say. Here, it's just a replay to showcase some combos you can do and how to play around stuff. It's not so much about the gameplay. Also, it's a new deck, mimighoul, so you might want to know how to beat it. Fail spell adds a bunch of things that add a lot of things and summon some monsters from the deck. I don't know the deck exactly. It's my first time saying it. But he tried to normal summon twice. So he just said 2 cards, pass. So basically what he has right now is that I cannot use normal summoned monster effects. And when he flips a card from when he flips that monster during my main phase, he gains a lot of advantage. So my game plan is to play in the draw phase. So I summon Chimera after I bait a lot of things, pop his cards, and then I do full branded combo with the main phase. So what I wanted to show in this replay is the ability of this deck to play in the draw phase with all the quick play spells you have. You have branded red, high spirits, you have opening. All of these cards can actually help you play through draw, through stuff like this that activate only the main phase. He uses the same combo again, but now he has a lot of monsters in his hand, which is bad, I think. He still summons a guy on my side of the field. I discard the card and he draws a card. Cool. He summons a very interesting level 1 monster, which is basically Book of Taiyu, and I have to attack this monster. Okay. Now, the thing that I discarded gives me a lot of advantage because it makes my Magnamut live. And Magnamut is a way to access Branded Fusion in case he doesn't use any monster effect on his turn, so I cannot add it with Thrust, for example. So Magnamut right now in the end phase adds Lubellion. Lubellion adds Saronir, and Lubellion plus Saronir is an access to Brand Fusion because I have Albion. I use Duster first. He gives me a monster and Book of Eclipse is my field. So all his interruption right now is the Xyz monster. All I have to do is play around the Xyz monster that will flip the monster he gave me and will destroy all of my things. I tried to bait with a couple of stuff, but that didn't work. So I just summon Albaz, which will give me access to Brand Fusion because I discarded Saronir, and Saronir plus Albion is Brand Fusion because of the Retribution trap card. And I resolve the fusion, so lost triggers as well. He used Monster Effect, so now I can use my Thrust to add talent to see his hand if he has Nash Blossom, and then do full combo. So yeah, win. Now on to the next replay. It's against Spright again. This replay is just another basic Spright matchup. You see my hand, I don't have any board breakers, but still I might be able to play through some stuff. He obviously will go for the Toad line. He summons Shopfrog that will search the Ice Barrier spell, which is a Master Reborn. He adds the Nimble Angler to the hand, and he has not normal summon yet, so he can normal summon it after he summons Toad. And now he can do the Melffy line as well. So basically that's 3 Omni Negates, 1 Imperm, and 1 Masquerena, plus the Carrot, which is very dangerous. And I have Puppet in hand, unlucky. He summons the Shopfrog, which is a 3 negate for Carrot. Albaz here, I tried to bait something, but he has Imperm as well. I think if he didn't have Imperm, I would actually be able to play through some more stuff. I'll try to bait to the battle phase, which is wrong, because I should activate Cartesia first, maybe be able to negate another interruption. But he summons a SP, and now I can't special summon for 3 Cartesia, which is my bad. I think I should have used Cartesia before I try to go to the battle phase. And it's 1 interruption too many, I think. I go first, now. Game 2, I see I have a good hand, but he uses Shifter. Nice. Thankfully, this deck is not the worst against Shifter. So my game plan is to summon a Draco Stapelia because it can both negate, but it's also kind of a floodgate for him because he plays Spright. And if I make his monsters level 1, he cannot summon. So that's good, but I shouldn't summon here in attack position. I immediately realized that. I don't set a droplet because if he had a Duster, it would be useless. I just hold it for next turn because I am positive I will survive. He adds Gamma Burst without being able to OTK. He doesn't add the starter or the trap, which is misplay. He just summons Carrot and sets 3-card pass. Okay, that's very easy to play around in turn 3. I tried to summon Saronir under Gigantic Sprite, my bad guy, sorry. I activate Lubellion, he tries to negate, I chain Saronir, so I negate his last interruption. And Droplet negates the Carrot. Yeah, okay, here Droplet is good, but it would be also very good if I had Brandon White or Brandon High Spirits, for example. So basically, you have to see that the games that Droplet was good, the cards I replaced it with would also be good, and the games where Droplet was bad, the cards that I replaced them would be better. So guys, thank you so much for watching. The things to take away from this video is don't go for the White Forest line if you have Cartesian access. White Forest is an enabler that makes Aluber an one card combo and a half card maybe that gives you puppet access. So now you don't pass with just a mirror jade or some stuff, you pass with puppet line. But if you have Cartesian access, just do the normal full combo. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.